If I were broke again in 2026, I would follow this plan step by step. Being broke is deeper than a bank account issue. It's really about your mindset. And just because you're not good with money, or maybe you grew up in poverty, or you just really don't know how to manage your money well, you don't have to stay there. So, in this video, I'm going to talk you through how to start over from scratch and what you should be doing. My name is Kiani. I am the responsible homegirl. And if you are new to this channel, this is a space where I am helping you take radical responsibility of your money and your life. If you're my OG homegirl, hey sis, you already know we are on episode 2 of our series, Starting Over from Scratch. And this is no better time than to start over. This is the beginning of a brand new year. So if you know your finances don't look like how you want them to look, lock in. Get ready to work. You can do this. Let's get into it. If you watched the first episode of this series, you know in that video I talked about you either have an income problem or you have a management problem. Now, it is so important that you identify which problem that you have, because that is going to help you determine what you need to do next. In my case, and I always share this story, in 2019 when I was facing eviction, it wasn't because I wasn't making enough money. I had more than enough money. I had a $7,000 refund check. I was working 2 jobs, but still I had nothing to show for it. So what does that scream? That screams management. So in this video, that's exactly what we're going to be talking about. But before we get into the management section, I want to just hit on mindset really quickly, because you can do the budget, you can do all the things, but if something doesn't change in your mind, it will be very short term, and we're not doing anything just for a short term fix. I really want you to change your lifestyle. I want you to change the way that you think about money. I want you to adopt a new way of even thinking about money and interacting with money. So this isn't something that you do for 6 months or for the year, and then in 2027, here you go back down again, down in debt, and just, the cycle just repeats itself over and over and over again. Money management, it is a skill that can be learned. That's the easy part. Attacking that mindset, rewiring your mind, how you think, how you view, how you feel about money, that is going to be the hard work. I always say you will abuse what you don't know how to use. And honestly, that is why you're struggling financially, because you don't know how to use what you've been blessed with. You need to understand that money is just a tool, and there are 4 ways to use money as a tool. You can save it, you can spend it, you can invest it, and you can give it. But many of us, we work for our money, we spend our money, and we barely save it. And that is what has us in these cycles year after year. When it comes to changing your money mindset, you can't change it unless you change what you're exposed to. If all you saw growing up was people recklessly spending money, doing the best they could to make ends meet, but always coming up short, you saw people treating themselves, no discipline around money, subconsciously you pick that stuff up. And the best way to combat those things that you picked up is by changing what you're exposed to. And I will never forget when I was facing eviction and I'm like, oh my God, I don't know what is going on. I don't want to be in this situation no more. It's embarrassing. I'm ashamed. The first thing I ran to was YouTube videos and books. And the more I listen to people talk about their personal finance journey and building wealth and just their mindset around money, it began shifting and shaping how I view money. So the biggest thing that I can give to you is, if you know that you need to change your mindset around money because something is not in alignment, you need to change what you're exposed to. Change who you're around. You can't go out with them friends every single weekend who have no responsibility or who have no care about money. If all they want to do is spend, for a season, you're going to have to get yourself up out of that, because when you're around, all you do is spend. You have to do something different, and you have to do it in a very radical way. Like, I literally went from every time I was in my car listening to music, playing my 90s R&B, to no, I'm listening to a podcast or I'm listening to a YouTube video. Why? Because I needed to shift and change what I had been exposed to. I needed to renew my whole entire mind. So when you read different things, when you listen to different things, when you get into your mind that there is another way of life and this is how I get there, know your financial situation. It won't change overnight. But what I can tell you is your relationship with money will begin changing. Why? Because you've been exposed to something different. You can only do the best that you can. Like, you can't do something different if you don't know that there's a different way. Like, if I go the same way from home, like from work to home every single day, and somebody was like, oh girl, it's a quicker way for you to get home, I wouldn't know unless I'm exposed to that quicker way for me to get home. So if you know that there's a different way that you can be living beyond living paycheck to paycheck in credit card debt, no money saved, then you have to get exposed to the different way of living. And watching this video, yes, you are getting exposed, but I'm telling you, you have to become more intentional about what you feed yourself so that you can change your mind about money. You have to renew your mind. Romans 12:2, it says, do not conform to the behaviors and the patterns of the world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. So transformation is going to come from mind renewal. You have to renew your mind. You have to change the way that you think about money, the way you view money, the way you interact with money. And that is going to come by exposing yourself to something different. So now that we have talked about mindset, let's talk about the management part. What you should do step by step if you are broke in 2026. Number one, you got to start off with vision. You do whatever you want to do with your money because you have no vision. You need to think about, where do I want to be financially? Where do I want to be in general in life? What type of person? Who do I want to be? You have to start with vision, because when you have vision, it is so much easier to say yes to the things that make sense and no to the things that do not make sense. If you are not in alignment, come on now. You can't say you want something and then your actions say otherwise. So start off with vision. Really take the time to think about, how much money do I want saved? Why do I want to save this money? What type of vacations do I want to take? How many vacations do I want to take? What type of future do I want to have? When would I like to retire? What is my dream job? What do I want to be doing? Dig deep and think about the things that is tying you to money, if that makes sense. Think about the things that you despise right now, the things that you hate, but it is your life. Why? Because you're comfortable, you're convenient, you didn't change anything up. So I really want you to take some time and think about your vision. Where are you headed? If you know where you're headed, it is so much easier to make better financial decisions. One of my favorite teachers is Dr. Miles Monroe, and he says, vision determines discipline. If you don't know where you're going, you'll do anything with your life. And you can apply that same thing to money. Vision determines discipline. If you don't know where you're going, you will do anything with your money. So that's the first thing. Get clear on, what do you want? And I'm telling you, sis, nothing is too big. Nothing is too grand. I don't care if you're making $20 an hour right now. One of your goals could be, I want to make $45 an hour. I want to make $50 an hour. Whatever it is, because you having that vision, you putting it down on paper, then you are going to start making and taking steps towards that becoming a reality. So put that vision down on paper so you can know exactly where you're headed and start making steps in that direction. We have vision. The next thing that you have to work on is a payday routine, because there's no need in putting that vision down on paper and then you're mismanaging what is currently in your hands. The best way to plan and prepare for what you want in the future is to become a great steward of what you currently have. So many people think that they have money issues, and they don't have money issues. They have management issues. And I can tell you that because I host money clarity sessions all the time, and my clients are so surprised by how much money they're spending on eating out. $500 and $600 a month eating out. They are so surprised when they go through their bank statements and they realize they got a subscription that they don't even use. And now that $13 a month times 12 months has added up and they don't use it. So I want you to understand that what you do on payday matters. When you get paid, the first thing that you should do is not pay bills, not go out to eat, not give the money. No, you need to take time to plan. On payday, we plan. On payday, we plan. And all you're doing is you are getting a clear understanding of what you have coming out, what you have coming in versus what you have leaving out. So the first thing that you want to do is write your income down. How much did I get paid this pay period? On the other side of that paper, okay, what bills do I have to pay this pay period? And that's why I want you to keep your bank statements and everything handy. Because, like I told you in episode 1 of this series, the bank statements, the numbers, they don't lie. So when you go through those bank statements, you'll be able to see what's reoccurring, what is coming out every single month. Do I even use this? Do I need this? Do I value this? So those are questions that you have to ask yourself. So after you have listed your income, what do you have coming in this pay period? Then I want you to list, what do you have to pay out? What leaves this pay period? Not the entire month, just this time between now and the next time you get paid. What is coming out of your account? And then after that, I want you to sit down and think about, how am I going to use money as a tool? How am I going to separate this money? What am I saving? What am I spending? What am I investing? What am I giving? I recommend you save at least 10% of your income every single time you get paid. If you can't save 10% of your income because you have more bills than you have money, that's cool. It's okay. But I do need you to save something. It could be as little as $20, as little as $50. Put that in a high yield savings account. Get it out of your sight so it can be out of your mind and you don't touch it. Next is the spend column. In that spend column, the first thing that goes under there is your bills, because you need to pay your bills on time. When you don't pay your bills on time, then the domino effect happens. Now something is reported to the credit bureaus and your credit score drops and this and that, and now you're playing catch up. So pay your bills on time. After that, think about, what else am I going to spend my money on? I am not the financial educator that is going to tell you don't spend your money. Absolutely not. We do not work just to pay bills. What do you want to spend your money on? Plan for that. And I'm not saying that you have to know like every single line item, but I am saying if you want to order something off of Amazon, start thinking about that and give yourself a budget around how much money you plan to give yourself to shop on Amazon. Next is your invest column. Invest, invest, invest. When you hear the word invest, I want you to think about growth. You are putting your money someplace with the expectation that that money will grow. So it can be into your self-education. It can be into your Roth IRA, that just stands for individual retirement account. It can be into your business that you've been procrastinating on, some inventory. It can be you taking a class or a course so that you can up your skills. What are you investing in this pay period? And then last but not least, giving. We are all blessed to be a blessing. And if you live your life like this, where nothing can come out, best believe it is going to be very difficult for something to come in. So just remember that we are blessed to be a blessing. And it's not about the amount of money that you give, but it's about your heart. So save, spend, invest, and give. For short, I remember it as SSIG. That is how you properly use money as a tool. So this is what you should be doing every single time you get paid. I'm going to say that again. You should be doing this every single time you get paid, because it is going to help you get clear and stay clear on what you have coming in versus what you have leaving out. And this is not about being perfect, but it's about keeping your eye on your dollars. You will always lose what you don't track. Because you don't track your spending, now you're like, dang, where did my money go? And asking that 2 weeks after you get paid is not the best time to ask that. So be proactive with your personal finances and not reactive with your finances. Now, what you do on payday is super important because it is going to help you create margin. Most people feel broke, and you probably feel broke right now, not because you don't have enough money, but because you don't have margin. Margin is that extra, the extra that you have to spend, the extra that you have to save, the extra that you have to loan out, to give, whatever it is. So when you get tighter on your budgeting and what you do on payday, it will help you create more margin in your personal finances and free up more mental space. A lot of the things that we are dealing with, it is all in the mind. You like, dang, I got to pay this, I got to pay that. You feel like it's always something coming out of your account. And granted, these are just your regular bills. However, because you don't have a handle on the actual amount, the date that is coming out, you don't have that margin. You don't have that margin in your money, and you don't have that margin in your mind. So doing this every single time you get paid is going to help you create more margin, create more breathing room, create more space for you to even thrive financially. So earlier in this video, I said broke is bigger than a bank account issue. It's about your mindset. I want you to keep that in mind, because the more space that we free up, the clearer we feel, the better we will feel with our money. Your margin comes from budgeting, it comes from living below your means, and it comes from making sacrifices. There was a season in my life where I did not get my nails done. I was the press-on queen, or I was wearing my little bare nails, because I knew that that wasn't something that I could consistently get done month after month after month after month. $100, $120, $150 sometimes, that adds up. So sometimes you have to make sacrifices for a season. You have to cut back to come up. Making sacrifices is not forever. It's something that is temporary. You're making a temporary sacrifice for a long-term reward, a long-term benefit. And I promise your stability is worth it. Your financial peace is worth it. So sacrifice for a season so that you can get to where you want to be financially. And I'm not saying this like it's going to be easy, because it's not going to be easy. It is going to be difficult sometimes, but you have to keep the main thing in mind. I always say this quote out of Janice Bryant Harroy's book called Acting Up. And she says, discipline is not a dirty word. Sometimes we hate the word discipline, and we're not disciplined because we're too busy focusing on what we're missing out on, what is being taken away from us, versus focusing on what we are actually gaining. So I want to give that to you. As you are becoming more disciplined with your finances, focus on what you're gaining. Focus on what will be the benefit of you sacrificing for a season. Okay? So really pay attention to what you're focusing on. And when you get in those seasons where you want to cry yourself or throw yourself a pity party, say, no, this discipline is for XYZ, the benefit, what you're going to gain from it. And this is exactly what I walk my clients through in our money clarity sessions. I always tell them, I am walking you through this, but I am empowering you and equipping you with the tools so that you can do this. So if you have watched this entire video and you like, okay, I understand where Kiani coming from, but I just still need my responsible homegirl to help me get from point A to point B, I want to encourage you to book a money clarity session. The link is in my description box. We'll walk through your vision, create that payday routine, and then go from there. So I hope that this video was super, super helpful for you. If I was broke again in 2026, this is exactly what I would do step by step. Starting with number one, changing my mindset, knowing that nothing is going to change until I renew my mindset about money. Number two, creating my payday routine. I need that system in place every single time that I get paid so I can know how to use money as a tool. Remember, you will always abuse what you don't know how to use. And then last but not least, I need to create margin. This is how I am going to get stable. So you need to create breathing room. You need to create that mental capacity so that you don't feel those feelings of overwhelm and being broke. So those are the things that I will focus on. That is my step-by-step plan. And this is truly how you will prepare for more. It is one thing to pray and ask God for more, to bless your finances, to transform your finances, but you have to manage what you have better right now. And there are things that you can do. Remember, I said in our first video, you can have an income problem or you can have a management problem. An income problem, that's an easy fix. You know, I need to make more money. But most of us don't have that problem. We have that management problem. And that is the place where you have to spend your time. And I am a big advocate for budgeting every single time you get paid versus budgeting a month, because you need to get your reps in. You need to do this every single time you get paid. I always say your budget is simply your financial GPS. You are getting the money, so you are telling your money direction. You are giving your money direction in hopes that it is going to get you closer to that vision. So do that every single time you get paid, and you'll begin to see, okay, this works for me. This doesn't work for me. I need to do this. I need to do that. So say all that to say, those are the things that I would do if I was broke again, starting from scratch. I hope this video was helpful. If you have any questions, please drop them in the comments so that I can help you. And if you want more one-on-one personalized help that is custom to your specific financial situation, I want to encourage you to book a money clarity session. The link is in my description box. So thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next episode of our Starting Over with Money series. This one is all about saving money. If I had no money saved and I was starting over from scratch, then this is how I would save my first $1,000. So I can't wait to see you in the next video. And if it was helpful, make sure you share it with one of your homegirls. See you in the next one. Bye.